I want to talk a little bit about the poll numbers here. First, for Mitt Romney, do not believe the poll numbers. I'm telling you, everything else, everything else makes sense to me. You know, they say in the press that, people aren't that excited about Romney and they're very excited about Barack Obama. To me, this makes sense. And it has nothing to do with Mitt Romney, being everybody's second choice or third choice or whatever. I mean, that does play a role in it. But don't dismiss this. If it's polling and you're saying, well, I'm not really excited about Mitt Romney, could you ask this question? Are you voting for a personality or are you voting for principles? Because I'm not voting against Barack Obama. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am. Not to vote is to vote. But I'm not just doing that. I'm voting for principles. And I'm certainly not voting for Mitt Romney. I'm voting for the Constitution. I'm voting for a change in direction. If Mitt Romney is the guy who can help us get there, great. But I got news for you. In 4 years from now, if he sucks, we throw his ass out too. We find somebody with I'm sorry, but I am a reverse progressive. I think that the only way to solve this is to reverse the engines and to start moving back in the other direction. Otherwise, you have revolution. I don't want revolution. Mitt Romney is the best guy we have out there. I'm for Mitt Romney right now, but I'm for the Constitution. Don't take this as a slam when anybody says, well, there's not a lot of passion for him. Is there passion for the Constitution? Is there passion for common sense? Is there a passion for a change of direction? I think there is. And that is the key. I think, the Democrats look what I just did. I just called them Democrats. The press doesn't understand that the Republicans have changed. And I'm not saying the GOP. I'm saying that a vast majority of people who have voted Republican have changed. We have become what the press says they are. We have become people who say, I don't care about the parties. I don't care about the politics of it. I just want the right answer. I want the true answer. I don't want anything about race. I don't want all this bashing back and forth. I don't want it. I want an answer. I want it clear. I want you to state it, and I want you to do it. And if you don't do it, I'm going to throw you out. And I am not beholden to anybody or any party. That's who we've become. And they don't recognize it. So how can you believe anything that they're polling? Because they're polling on old style. They're looking for things that they can compare to 2008 or 2004. We're not those people anymore. The other thing is, and this one blows me away, they actually are expecting, and Stu can explain this, there's the way they measure passion, the way they weight these things, they say, what is the turnout going to be? And so they're weighting these polls now with the passion of 2008 plus. They're saying that more people will go out and vote for Barack Obama because they're so excited about it than they did in 2008. Let's put this into perspective. I don't think I've ever seen in my lifetime a campaign that was so built on historic action. Ever. Have you, Pat?
No.
Never. Ronald Reagan wasn't even like that. It was, I mean, in 1984, it was an exciting campaign. But it wasn't like Barack Obama. That was history. There were people that went out and voted for the first time because it was history, and that's it. They're saying that they're going to have a bigger turnout for Barack Obama this time than last? That's crazy.
Yeah, CNN, New York Times, Quinnipiac poll that came out, and it was largely touted by the media without any qualifiers at all. And they said in the two states that were highlighted, Florida and Pennsylvania. Florida in 2008 had a Democratic voting advantage of 3%. So 3% more Democrats came out than Republicans. In this poll that they released yesterday, in Florida, they're saying it went from 3 to 7. So they're saying more than double the advantage for Democrats than in the 2008 election in Florida.
And that's just based on what exactly?
That's what their sample resulted in. Now they're saying, they will say, look, this is who we called, this is what people said. I mean, they're going to stick by it, but it's obviously an unreliable sample. There's no way that people are more intense voting for Obama this time than they were in 2008.
There's no way.
And the same thing, I mean,
And the same thing can be said. There's no way, because first of all, when you look at John McCain. John McCain was a hold your nose poll.
Totally.
I don't know anybody. I don't know a soul that said, I'm excited about John McCain. I don't know a soul beyond that said anything other than, I mean, maybe Sarah Palin.
Yeah, that's what they said.
What it was.
Yeah. That's what they said.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only thing that was happening on that ticket. Mitt Romney, I know people who are like, I don't know about Mitt Romney. I'm not really sure. But I don't know anybody who's like, oh, I'll really hold my nose on this, especially after Ryan, because Ryan is so solid. Ryan's not. Sarah Palin was like, maybe this is a breath of fresh air. Maybe this is a totally different change. Maybe this is something we can get around. Paul Ryan is all meat and potatoes. All meat and potatoes. There's some real hope here. It's not like John McCain, like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
so the passion has got to be higher than it was for John McCain.
Well, and think about what's happened in between here. Remember, in 2008, okay, big Democratic wave. You've got Obama and everything else. He carries it, all these huge voting numbers. In 2010, that completely reversed. It was the biggest wave for the Republicans since the 30s.
30s.
So I mean, why would you believe now it's more passionate? It's gone not only back past 2008, but it's had to completely reverse itself again in 2 years.
Is anybody taking into account, have you heard anybody talk about what happened in the last two elections? Because we've had the special elections, we've had all of the, for instance, even all of the primaries with Cruz and everything else. It's a totally different landscape. I think these polls are all wrong.
Yeah.
Because they're and don't assign any blame to them, and they're just not, they don't understand, I think, what has happened.
It's something wrong with the methodology. The same thing shown in Pennsylvania. In 2008, Democrats +7 in Pennsylvania. This poll came out yesterday, again, touted by the media with no qualifiers, no questions about this sample, had Democrats +11. So they've increased by, about 50%, over 50%, their lead on Republicans after a wave election for Republicans in 2010? I mean, that makes absolutely no sense at all. Anyone looking at those results would say, okay, this makes no sense. We can still, release these results, but we have to lead with this qualifiers. They don't do that.
I heard somebody on the Real News last night, some poll expert, and SE and the whole. I mean, that's the smartest show on television. But everybody was asking this expert last night. They were like, wait a minute, I don't understand this. You're saying that the poll numbers are doing better for Barack Obama because they're now trying to get more people on cell phones, and Democrats have more cell phones? What are you talking about? Democrats have more cell phones. Really? I've never known. I've never even heard anything like that before.
No, people who have jobs, people who work for a living have more cell phones. Come on, hippies and drug addicts and people who can't even get out of bed in the morning. They don't have more cell phones.
The argument is on that.
But everybody has
But the argument is that young people go cell phones only. So that when so they might not have a landline. So polls that are only landlines tend to show more of a Republican edge.
Yeah, but you know what? Will brought this up. I think it was Will that brought this up on the show last night. That it was. You also have to look at Republicans who won't. They're not as willing to give information.
Yep.
I don't talk to you, and if you're asking me political questions, I might feed you all the wrong answers because I want to know what you're going to say. I'm not going to give you anything. I don't trust you.
That's definitely.
We don't. I mean, who on our side trusts anybody?
Especially in the media.
Anybody.
I'm calling you from the New York Times and CBS. Will you give me your opinion? Really?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be right there.
Sure.
I'm going to help you. You kidding me? I mean, we must be impossible to poll. But here's the good news. The good news on that is stop listening to them.
Oh, there's only one poll that counts.
Yeah, the last one, stop listening to them. I think all they're trying to do is depress you, to get you to say, well, it's not happening. You tell me, how did I do that Catholic vote thing? How did I do that 2 nights ago? Their goal was to have 50,000 people, Catholics, on the phone for this half-hour conference call. And by the way, you can hear it all at theblaze.com. And I did a half-hour conference call with the Catholic voters. And they just asked, this Catholic representative asked me all of these questions and everything else, and so I did this conference call. Well, their goal was to have 50,000 people on that call. They had 143,000 people. Now, you tell me that we're not passionate. You tell me. Of course we are. Now, Obama is down, 14 points with Catholics? I can't believe it's only 14 points. The Obama administration now is actually doing push polls with the Catholics, and they're calling them up, and they're saying, hey, we're good Catholics, too. And, the opinion on gay marriage and stuff like that, that is just an opinion of the Pope. That's not Catholic. Excuse me? I mean, they are lying about the Catholic stance now. I don't think that's a really good idea for a candidate to go out and lie about what the Pope is telling Catholics. Because when you do that, and believe it or not, because I have a transcript of one of the phone calls that happened, when they got down to it and they got down to the last kind of pieces where there is nothing else they could say, the statement from the Obama campaign people was, how can a good Catholic vote for a Mormon, a member of a cult?
Jeez. Shocking.
Wow.
Took them that long to get there, huh?
And if you think, if the Obama administration thinks that's going to work with Catholics who might remember John F. Kennedy, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. They are desperate. Every move. If you look at Mitt Romney, and with an exception of yesterday with this weird, Romney-Ryan thing, and I think that I'm hoping that was just, he has zero sense of humor. Not a funny guy. Not a hip guy. He should be running as the nerd that will get it done. That's what he should be running as. He should just embrace it. Look, I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I'm a mechanic. I'm an economic mechanic. That's what I am. You want to go hang out and have beer with somebody? I ain't your guy. You want to go hang out and watch football? I'm not your guy. But if you want somebody to get the job done, I'm your guy. I'm a geek. That's how he should be positioning himself, I think.
Yeah. Governor of Michigan did that.
Yeah. I think that's really, really a strong position for him. But if you look at him, he's not going after Obama, which I think is smart. If you look at everything that Obama is doing now, he's going after the policies, but he's not being cute. If you look at all of the stuff that is happening now, Obama saying the GOP doesn't care about the sick. Obama, I'm here to be eye candy. Obama, hey, I want to see us export more jobs and products. Oh, excuse me, I was channeling my opponent there for a second. That's what he did yesterday. You have that cut 360. That's what that's where Obama is right now.
First thing is I want to see us export more jobs, export more products. Excuse me. I was channeling my opponent there for a second.
You screwed up, and then you made a joke about it.
And now I'm channeling Pinocchio because I'm lying about him exporting jobs again because he didn't even do that.
But the point of this is
take it.
I know, that's why you don't have to listen to him. The point of this is Obama is doing everything. They're using race still. They're using all this negative stuff, and Romney's not doing it. He's not doing it. Now, you might think that's wrong. I have a feeling that is exactly the right thing to do. I have a feeling staying above the fray, not being sarcastic, not just not being cutesy with it. I think people are past the cutesy. They want an adult. The world is in serious trouble, and they just want somebody. And I think if Romney just said, look, I think if I had him for an hour and I could put him in front of a television camera and say, we're going to cut a 30-second spot here, I would just have him do this. Look, I'm not a guy you're going to have beer and pizza with. I'm not a guy who, is the most entertaining in the world. I can't hang out with the Hollywood celebrities or do any of that stuff. But that's not what the president does. We have serious, serious problems. I can fix it. You're never going to hang out with me. You're not going to bid on having dinner with me. I can fix it. Hire me for the job. I have the resume. I'm Mitt Romney. I think that's what America wants.